Alright friends, welcome back. This part of the course we're going to trace and draw something that is symmetrical. Now before we get into it, this is easier than it looks. Even though yes it is a very complex drawing, it is super easy to draw, and I'm going to go ahead and show you. So this is a drawing that I did. I can't find the original drawing. I must have misplaced it, or maybe I don't know what happened to it, but no worries, we're just going to go ahead and trace the tracing. So what we're going to do first is we're going to lock this layer, or at least lock the guy himself. So because that layer is locked, we'll make a new one that we can actually draw on, make sure it's on top. So what we're going to do is, if you don't have the rulers open, go to View Rulers. In this case, you would show them. And what we're going to do here to make it easier for, everybody is just click and drag, and we'll just drop this right at the center. Okay? Now, before we get into it, again, think of it, I want you to hammer this quote into your brain. Graphic design is just creative problem solving. So, what is the best way? Actually, let's do it like this. You want to figure out the best way to go about tracing this, because it's a lot of different shapes, a lot of contrast, a lot of different colors. So let me show you how I originally solved that problem. So let's get rid of this guideline first, okay? And if you go to, remember Command Y, it'll kind of give you the schematic view. So I'm just going to show you how I broke this tiger up. So let me ungroup it first, right? Okay. So we have those details, we have these two details, this shape, the whisker shapes, oh, there's another one, the whisker shapes, the contrasting green, the ears, the nose, the teeth, and the tongue. Okay? So when you see that, pretty easy, right? And all you really have to do is just trace 50% of all of this. And then you're gonna, like we've done in the past, copy, paste, and flip it. So when we go back, now you can see. So the first thing I would do, let's first group everything back together. Lock the layer, select the layer on top. So let's get a new guide. Let's drop it in the center. Looks pretty good. This is locked. The first thing we can go ahead and trace would be the black outline, because that's going to be the base on which we build everything on top of. So let's just go ahead and start tracing. Okay, now again, because it's symmetrical, you're going to want to start in the middle. Now as you can see, I'm moving pretty fast through this. I'm not really worried about it being perfect, because we can go back in with the smooth tool or the direct selection tool and edit and move anchor points if we need to. So I'm not too worried about anything being too perfect right now. So I'm just kind of going through, getting the anchor points down, getting the shapes down, getting the lines down, and then we can go back and fix it if we need to later. Okay, and once you get to the middle, go ahead and stop, click V. So, first part's done. So let me just go ahead and fill this in to kind of show you what we just traced. So this is going to be the base on which we draw everything on top of. Okay? So now that that's done, let's go ahead and trace the blue part of the face or fur. This time, let's make it yellow. P for pen tool, and you start going. Okay, so now that that part's done, give you a look at what we're doing. So we have that part finished, and we have this part. So you can see, you start to build it up on top of one another. Now that we have those two done, let's get the green going. We'll make that line, we can do like a turquoise. So let's start down here. Now again, anytime I'm zooming in or zooming out, I'm just holding Command and I'm doing the plus and minus to zoom in and out. You can also click Z, and if you click and drag to the right, it'll zoom in. If you click and drag to the left, it'll zoom out. But I just usually use the arrow, or the plus and minus rather, to zoom in and out. So P for pen tool. Start in the middle. And just start going. Again, overlapping, because I'm just going to go ahead and tuck the green under the blue, so it's no big deal that they're overlapping, because at the end you won't really be able to see it at all. Alright, once you come to the center, go ahead and stop. So now, progress report. There we go. So now we have that traced, this traced, and this traced. Okay, so it's starting to come together a little bit. Now let's trace the other green part. Oops. Okay, I'm just going to move right to the nose because it's right here. And while we're at it, we'll just do the teeth and the tongue because we're here. You know, as I sit here and trace this, it's very meditative. I'm very calm. It's very relaxing. You know, even though this is the severalth time I'm doing this today, it's all good. You know, you gotta focus on the present. You can't be worried about what went right, what went wrong. You just gotta focus on the present moment. And in that sense, all is well. So we're almost done. Let's do the ears, I guess we can do. Get those out of the way. Okay, now let's do the stripes, and then we're pretty much done. We just gotta copy paste and then connect everything, and then we're pretty much done. So we're getting there. Feel good. Alrighty, now all we have to do is the eyes, and we are finished. So, looks like we are done as far as tracing goes. So let's do this. So now that we're done tracing, we can go ahead and hide that. And if you click Command Y, it'll take you to this little, I don't know what it's called. I just like to call this the schematic view or the blueprint view, where it'll give you all the lines that you have drawn. So that's half the tiger. Command Y, bring it back. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and make these lines black to make it a little easier to see. Okay, so what we're gonna do now that we have all the lines we need to complete it, we're gonna select, we're gonna select everything. Now, we don't want to copy the guideline, so if you have stuff selected and you hold shift and then click on whatever you want unselected, deselected, it'll deselect it. So we're just going to deselect the guide, holding the shift button and clicking. So now, Command C, Command F, pasting in front, transform, right click, transform, reflect, 90 degrees, enter. Holding shift and using the right arrow, moving it over until you get you want to get as close to that guideline as you can. Cool. We'll go there. Okay. We can get rid of this guideline. We don't need it no more. So, looking pretty good. So, let's just make these different colors so you can kind of see the difference of where we're going to go with it. These can stay. Okay. So, first thing is first, you just want to click and drag. Now, I'm going to join all of these together. So, just because I have selected this part of it, the entire outline is going to get selected. Even the points that I need to select down here are selected. So, if you just do Command J, just hold Command down, click join twice because we're connecting 4 points. One click of the join connects 2 points, so because there's 4, you click it twice. So now, check that out. Boom. Now, you'll notice when I fill it in, where's the rest of the face? Command Y, it's still there, but you can't see it because this red shape is placed in front of the other side. So what you do is just Command Shift left bracket to send it all the way to the back, and now you can see everything else. So now that that's done, let's empty it for now. Now, we're just gonna go right down the middle. So we're gonna connect these bad boys, Command J. Now again, you're gonna cover up some of that stuff. So to send it to the back, now you don't wanna just do Command Shift back because now it's behind the red. So what you wanna do is you wanna select the blue and the red because the red's already in the way back, and just Command Shift left bracket. Now you're good. Okay? Oops. Yeah, the layering can sometimes get confusing, but hopefully I'll make it easy for you guys. Okay, now let's do these, I almost called them eyebrows, but the stripes. Command J, Command J, Command J. Now, real quick, we come down here. Sometimes when you join 2 points to try to make a triangular shape, it gets kind of weird. If you go ahead and look, you can see that the 2 anchor points, if you zoom in close enough, are just kind of right next to each other. So what you want to do is remember this little menu, come up, delete anchor point, delete one of them, doesn't really matter, and then you do the anchor point tool, click, hold the space bar, and then you can move it, and when it snaps to the pink line, you know you're centered. So there you go, now you have a perfect triangular shape. Now let's try that and do the same thing for these 2 guys. Oh, these aren't even joined. Now they are. Okay. Delete one. Hold the button down, hold space. Now you can move it. Now it's centered. Beautiful. Look at that. Okay. J. So that one is good. While we're at it, while we're down here, we'll do these. I'm just selecting and clicking J twice, Command J 2 times. It's already finished. I think we're good. We can always leave that, that's fine. Okay, so everything is joined together. Now what we're gonna do is just fill everything in, select the change the colors, move some layers around, and we'll be done. So let's go ahead and start with the base shape that we started with. Let's just fill it all the way in black. Or here, let's do this real quick actually. So what I usually do if I know I have several different things that are all going to be the same color, what I'll do is I'll select all of them. I'm basically just holding shift and clicking on them all. It'll select everything that you click if you hold shift. And because I know all the stripes are going to be the same color, I'm going to select them all and just Command G, join them together. Or I'm sorry, yeah, Command G, join them together. Or I'm sorry, I'm going to Command G, group them all together. Or you could right click and group them. So now when I want to move them or fill them with color, they are all the same color. They will change in unison. I'm going to go ahead, Command Shift, right bracket, bring this to the very, very front. I'm going to make this orange. Make this black. Cool. Fill these guys in. Let's do this too. Let's bring the eyes up front as well. Command Shift, right bracket, bring them to the absolute front. Fill them in. And we'll do pupils. Okay, so we're getting there. You can see it's clearly coming together. We'll make these white. So now, as you can see, there's a piece of the orange hiding behind this white. Now there's a few ways I can do this. I could try to send it to the back, but it's just gonna put it behind everything. So I think what I'll do instead is I will select the orange along. You don't want to just select the orange because if you bring that in front, you cover everything else up. So you want to select the orange. I'm holding shift. Remember, I grouped everything together, so now all of the stripes are selected. And then I'll select both of the eyes, both pupils, and both eye spots. So with all of that stuff now selected, as you can see, I'm just gonna Command Shift, right bracket, bring that right back in front. Okay? Now, I didn't go in and smooth in the corners and all that other stuff, but usually before I copy, paste, and join everything, I'll go around, I'll smooth out some corners, smooth out some bumps, you know, bring this stuff down. I didn't do that this time just because this is the third time I'm doing this, and I just want you guys to kind of pick up what I'm putting down. So usually I will go in and clean everything up, make the lines nice and straight, but in this case, I'm not worried about that right now. Let's fill these ears in. Let's do the teeth. And the tongue. Alright, last but not least, this section. Now, as you can see, because I brought the orange face part and the eyes and all that to the front, you can see that the white weird lines that I drew a little bit ago are already covered up. Now if I go ahead and bring this to the front, now you can see the weird lines. If I just undo that, they're already kind of covered up. So there you have it, guys. Easy, right? Once you kind of know how to do it, it's super easy. So there we go. Here's the tiger. Now if you want to go to the schematic view, there it is. Now, what I can do is I can go ahead and just save this as the tiger boy. Save that as an Adobe Illustrator file to the desktop, and then I can take that into Photoshop, clean it up, change the colors, or save it or export it as a PNG through here, and then take this, put it on a t-shirt, put it on a poster. I can do whatever I want with it now because I have this as a vector image. So that's it, guys. Pretty easy. Not a whole lot complicated when you know what you're doing. So hopefully that motivates and inspires you and shows you that it's really not all that hard once you really know what you're doing. And hopefully I showed you some shortcuts and some ways to make it a little bit easier. So that was pretty fun. Hopefully we got it all recorded this time. And this pretty much covers it as far as all the pen tool stuff. I would love to see you guys practicing on your own and see what you create. However, moving forward, I think I have a few more things I want to touch on in Adobe Illustrator, and then we'll get into Photoshop. So we're going to start doing a lot of cool stuff in Photoshop. Very excited for that. So if you're still here, thank you for being here. I'm going to go take a break. You should take a break too. Go drink some water, go to the bathroom, text your friends, do some jumping jacks, and I will see you in the next video.